We're here.
Nope. We're here.
We're here.
Am I good to go?
We're here,
finally on the
John.
internet.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Pixel Street Podcast, episode 146. We're just chilling out here in the neighborhood. You know what it's like. Got my sexy astrobot here behind me.
Became you like one of your French astrobots?
Yeah, you know. Lots of stuff to talk about today, including Astrobot, because today we are focusing on summer 2021 for PlayStation. The last couple of weeks we focused on Nintendo and Xbox at E3. Obviously, Sony doesn't attend E3 anymore, so we're just gonna kind of take a expanded look at the summer for PlayStation, make some predictions, and see just how right we're gonna be about them going forward. So it's gonna be a good time. I am your host for this week, John Hansen, and I am joined by the one and only Connor Cott. Connor, how's it going?
It's pretty good. Last week we talked about video games ? And this week I really want to pivot to something that means a lot to me, and that's video games ! I think it's really the more important conversation when it comes to punctuation in video game literature. Fuck that. I'm doing pretty good. I've got a mat. You probably can't see it on this camera, but John's really mad about it, and so is Joel because there's a cable on top of it, and I'm not going to do anything about it. We're just going to roll live. So
don't worry, that's cut out of the stream, so you're good.
Yeah, for the sake of all the people on the internet, yes.
Yeah, I blurred it out actually because it's so
Yeah, perfect. NSFW tag, yes, please.
We also have Mr. Finish Line here himself, Joel Campos. Joel, what's up?
Oh, took my dog poop so that she doesn't do it during this here podcast. All over the floor.
Oh, she's gonna.
No, she'll be good. She's chilling. But yeah, we're doing good. I'm excited to talk about all the stuff that, PlayStation's gonna do, even though they've announced like so much shit today.
Yeah, this was actually kind of perfect timing for a lot of this stuff. But finally, we have a little guest with us today. We're just chilling here over on Gillihan's Island because we got Brent Gillihan. What's up, Brent?
Yo, what up, dude? I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah,
I actually haven't.
I slowly get better at this hosting thing. So, real quick, Brent, you want to tell us any podcasts, other stuff you're involved in, what you've been doing lately?
Yeah, sure. I am 1/3 of the Uncultured Opinions podcast. I am 1/2 of the Free to Play podcast, and I'm 100% a Vibe.
Oh,
yeah!
I totally didn't already use that on AAWY like a couple weeks ago.
No, like we don't.
I would have never known it was written down. Yeah.
Respawning Fire. I mean, me and Joel went on there. Guys? We took over the podcast. That's our podcast now.
I mean, I definitely didn't set their Patreon exclusive. Well, I guess for everybody, background is my phone already.
Yeah, look at that.
That was a cool background.
It is. It's on my iPad too. Look, everywhere.
We got a Respawning Fire stand over here.
And it's a cool. I set their backgrounds every month. I don't know. It changes things up.
All right.
Facts.
As I said, this week we are discussing what the summer of 2021 holds for PlayStation and giving predictions on what we could see. This week will be a little different because we've been running long lately, so I'm cutting out. But as we said earlier, there's been a lot of PlayStation news, so we'll probably work it in here as well. So yeah, what do you guys say? We just start talking PlayStation.
Do it.
Dude.
All right.
I should have brought my trophy glass, but I left it.
Wait, hold on.
Not
first
a true
things
PlayStation
first.
stand.
Let's get the true housekeeping out of the way, John. What's the status on the nacho cheese machine? Have you tried it?
I have to buy some stuff to use it on. I'm thinking like hot dogs. I need more chips and everything. I'm kind of low on the groceries.
But like,
so
you haven't like fired it up at all.
No, it's actually all of it is set up except for it being plugged in. It's just sitting on my kitchen counter right now.
Okay.
So by next week, I'll have more to report on that. I've just been busy with E3 preparation, writing and stuff. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Very excited to have my nacho cheese machine. Okay, so talking PlayStation here. first, I'll give a quick lowdown on some of the most interesting exclusive games that have already been announced. We have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which is actually set to come out in a little over a week here. Very excited for that game. God of War Ragnarok, which just today was delayed until 2022, which wasn't surprising at all. I think we've been saying that it was going to be delayed.
Dude,
forever
I've been
now.
barking from day one that game's not getting delayed.
Yeah. Well, I think here we were pretty sure that it was being delayed.
Yeah,
I'm
it
kind of
just
mad.
felt right.
I'm kind of mad
believe
because
me.
like I was preparing like my speech. Like I was in the shower last night thinking like I know exactly my pitch I'm gonna make about this game, talking about how I think it might be delayed because of marketing. And I was like, all right, I'm hyped for this podcast. Oh, I'm delayed.
Yeah. Just kidding.
The real reason why he was late to starting the podcast comes out.
Yeah.
He was sobbing in the shower about how he was wrong.
All right, we got Horizon 2 Forbidden West, which was just we just saw gameplay for the first time at the most recent State of Play. Still no concrete release date on that yet, but it is still set to come out sometime this year. We have Little Devil Inside, which is kind of one of those smaller indie games, but looks very interesting to me. Of course, when we talk about smaller teams and interesting games, Kena Bridge of Spirits, me and Connor have been going on and on about how much we are excited for that game. That's
Cannot wait. Probably one of my most hyped titles, for sure.
Absolutely. That game is going to be something special, I feel. We have Stray, which is the one with the cats. I don't know much about it besides
that's the one that's like cyberpunky, isn't it? It's like all robots and dystopian and... It
might be.
Right?
I think all they've shown on it is a really quick trailer. I don't
it was a small tidbit, nothing crazy.
And we kind of talked about this last week, but it's in such a weird area since them being owned by Xbox now, but Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop are PlayStation exclusives. We know Deathloop is coming, I believe, September. It might be something else, but I believe it's September. Ghostwire Tokyo, we do not have a date on, and really, honestly, I don't care about that game ever since Nakamura left, because she is a saint, and we need to protect her at all costs. And yeah, and also today, in the mix of all the brand new news that PlayStation announced, there is a new IP coming from Ben Studios. So we've talked a bit about, I think it's been about a month now, that the reports that Days Gone 2 was already canned by PlayStation. And they came out today and said that they are working on a new IP. So no idea what that is.
Interestingly enough, one of the things they said on it is that it will be built on the game systems from Days Gone. So I expect it to be something similar in terms of large open world, maybe high enemy count, something like that. So, I'm excited to see what they do. Days Gone didn't really strike a chord with me in any meaningful way, but I thought for what it was at least an acceptable experience. It lacked a heart at its core, but it at least had some solid gameplay systems, which I appreciated.
Yeah, I couldn't play more than 5 hours of it. I was so done with it after just a few hours.
It was just mediocre, it didn't have anything that drove it. It was unfortunate.
I never even started it.
Oh, okay, you never started
it. I tried starting it. I went to a preview event for the game here in Chicago, which was cool because it was all you could eat, all you could drink, and play the game. But that was it. That was the extent of me playing it. It was for 5 minutes playing the game.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat here, let's start with looking at this list of games here. Which of these do we expect to see this year? Of course, Ratchet and Clank comes out in a...
I think that gets delayed.
Yeah, it's a high chance. God of War, we already know is delayed, but Horizon 2, I would say, still has a bit of a question mark on it. If they didn't set a release date at the State of Play going deep into it, that tells me they're not 100% set on this coming out this year.
If you think about it, that State of Play was, 6 months before the end of the year. If they can't forecast 6 months out, then I think there's a strong chance that gets pushed into next year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still confident it comes out this year. I don't see, like I said about God of War, but I don't see a future where it doesn't release. In like small amount of words, my whole pitch was going to be like, I'm confused because my whole thing is marketing for all three of these games. I was going to be like, all right, Ratchet and Clank comes out June, so maybe they're saving a little bit of time to like let that breathe, and then they're going to announce the Horizon date. But then I was like, that means Horizon would have to come out in like September or something. God of War would have to come out in December, and then how long would you be able to spread those dates? And like, technically, Horizon's been out like released for announced sorry for a year, so I don't think you need to have the date set for that long. But at the same time, it gets a little confusing and conflicting because it's like you would have a couple months, so now you have more time to breathe. So you could easily release Horizon in like November, announce the date around, I don't know, July, August, because they said development's on track. I read that post as we are tightening up a few things, but production has not delayed whatsoever. We are on track. We're getting everything good. We just want to fix a few quirks and bugs just in case we have to do a soft delay, like a week or something like that. Just make sure we have it in set in stone. So I see Horizon coming out around October, November, to be honest, and like God of War maybe March or something.
Yeah, I was thinking today when they delayed God of War, I think that that kind of also brought me back to the idea that it will be coming out this year, Horizon. Just because, like you said, like having that space between major releases like that is pretty key in getting sales numbers up for each game. Especially now, because if you think about it, if these PS5 games are all $70 a piece, like people are, still kind of like they haven't warmed up to the idea of a game, being more cost wise up front than it was in the previous gen. So getting somebody to
Yeah.
buy two $70 games like within a month or 2 months
A 3 or 4 month
other,
span, yeah.
wouldn't be as
Larger commitment.
Yeah, it's a larger commitment than getting somebody to buy two games over the course of 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to be honest, obviously I don't know anything. I could be ignorant, but I don't think God of War was delayed too much because of development. I think it was marketing. I think some soft delay happened with Ratchet and Clank. They pushed that down to June and they were like, "All right, we don't have enough time to market like 3 AAA games this year." So they're like, "All right, Santa Monica, do you need extra time? Cuz we got to give it to you."
I don't think I buy the
Yeah.
marketing thing.
I don't really buy that.
Yeah.
I kind of
So
do because I know people have pointed out like Metroid Prime's been in limbo for like 4 years and they announced it, but when I think of Sony, and I know we've had some games that have sat for a long time, but I was on the like mind that they wouldn't have announced something as big as God of War and said 2021 if they didn't expect it to be done. And even in that Raising Kratos documentary, they had to delay it a little bit, but still, it's like you've had 3 years and they've had so many things already, like engines and things like that. Game development takes a long time, but I was still really confident that development was going pretty good on that game. I think it was marketing, but either way, that doesn't matter. But that's just kind of
I'm going to
what I
swing
feel.
pretty strongly in the other direction with this and say that yeah, Ragnarok. I mean it was in the article for the most part. They were pretty upfront that one of the biggest challenges in the game industry currently is being able to source actors for motion capture work.
Mm.
On-site actual capture above and beyond just motion cap for acting cutscenes and all that. But
We've talked a lot about how this affected Hellblade 2 so much
you're
and
right.
how long that could be delayed.
For sure, and I think that we're still seeing the effects of that, and it's still going to be a lot of that for quite some time to come. To be honest with you, if I had to make a bet, I would say Ratchet and Clank's probably fine. There's no way that gets changed in any way, shape, or form. God, that would be so fun, though, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't. I want to play that game.
I think it'd be hilarious. Then Horizon, they were pretty sheepish. They didn't full commit to that 2021 date in the press release that came out today. I'm gonna say that it still ends up in fiscal 2021, but I could very easily see that game shifting to something like a March release. depending on what else they have lined up for the end of this year, whether it be Gran Turismo flavored or whatever else they could
Maybe
possibly
some
have.
new surprise.
Right, right. Maybe something we have no idea that's in the pipeline. And I think as far as God of War goes, um, you kind of have to think about the industry and where it sits. We're talking about arguably one of the biggest budget AAA experiences we're going to see over the next year or two. And in the aftermath of Cyberpunk, I think, again, companies don't want to make that same mistake. And I also think that reading Sony Santa Monica's press release they put out today, they all seemed a little surprised by how much support and talk was really out there about God of War Ragnarok, which is shocking to me because that game was incredible and deserved all the praise that it got, the first one. But it did read as a little bit shocked. So I wonder if maybe they're taking it a little bit larger, not that you can in such short amount of time. But maybe it's scaling up a little bit in terms of visuals, or maybe there's an extra feature set or something on it. I personally think this gets pushed all the way back to probably middle, if not end of next year. You got to remember the first God of War was an April release title. That was April 20th. So I think Sony's not afraid to really shake up the traditional release format and put things in odd areas, but I do think that space is incredibly important as well. And I think with a March Horizon release and a later release for God of War next year, it also gives them a little more time to kind of space out whatever they have coming in the months after that. I do want to kind of switch focus on that for a second, since we're talking about those. Have you guys seen that Horizon and God of War are confirmed to be cross generational titles?
Jeez, Connor, it's almost like you read my show notes.
I did.
Sony seems to be walking back their next gen approach. How do you feel about that, Brent? Let me know.
I've been seeing a lot of so much for We Believe in Generations, and I agree and disagree with that. It's one of those things, like, it's a funny meme, but at the same time, it's like that's just kind of what you get at the beginning of a generation. I think they said almost verbatim in the article saying they'd be kind of stupid to like leave that many, like 100 million players behind. So I don't like that something like GT7 is coming to PS4, because it's like those are usually like showcase games. But at the same time, I get it. Like it doesn't bother me as long as the graphics are still good, and as long as we get really good PS5 patches, then I'm okay with it. But I'm just worried that they won't put as much time into a patch. And then even Holden's been talking about, oh, they're not going to use the SSD that much with it, which I hope they do, but probably won't because it's not built from the ground up for it. So that's the only thing that I'm really upset about. But either way, if we get a good patch, then I'm all right with it.
That's one thing Xbox did really well, is just right from the beginning.
Right from the beginning.
Yeah, the next year or so, you're going to see all these games cross-gen. There's not going to be a true next-gen game for a while.
It's just interesting because PlayStation was on the other side. They were very much saying at the beginning, we believe in generations and we want to give that next-gen approach. And really, besides Ratchet and Clank, is Returnal PS5 only? Or is that PS4?
Yeah, it's PS5.
Okay, but I don't care about that, so I'm not using it as an example.
Good, though.
I don't care about it, therefore it doesn't matter.
It doesn't exist.
Right.
No, in all honesty, I've heard it's great. It's just interesting seeing them take this stance with two of their most anticipated games in quite a while.
That's the thing. It's flagship would be God of War when you had a masterpiece on your hands with 2018. So many people bought a console for that game, and then you're just gonna be like, all right, we're gonna put it on PS4 though. Like, I get putting games on PS4 not to alienate that player base, but you gotta have a couple of these and be like, all right, we need a system seller. Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, good games. Well, I assume Ratchet and Clank's good. It's a good series, but they're not system sellers for a lot of people. God of War, and even maybe Horizon, but definitely God of War would have been that system seller. So it's just confusing, to be honest.
I mean, you also have to think about it from like a corporate standpoint too. Like, if neither of those games come out this year, like what do they have as like their big holiday title? You know what I mean?
It's got to be a surprise.
It can't be PS5 systems because you still can't find those fucking things anywhere.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the reason why I think it makes more sense that they're cross-gen still, is partly because consoles are hard to find. That way,
I think
I was thinking that too. I was thinking that too, but then I was like, wait, the PS5 is still like selling like hotcakes and still like the fastest selling console, I think, is what they said. So I don't completely buy that because the numbers do kind of add up. But at the same time, I do
remember though
saying,
that
I was definitely thinking that
percentage growth rate doesn't necessarily equal install base. Like you still have this incredible, ridiculously large number install base for the PlayStation 4. And I think that's where a lot of the shift in tone and focus comes from. It's no stranger that the PS5 is hard to find, hard to get your hands on right now. I mean, how often do you see Wario64 tweet about it on Twitter that there's another queue on PS Direct or some other slapstick way to get your hands on a PlayStation 5, and scalpers are still charging $700-800 for these things, and they're selling, and they're going to continue to do that for people that want to go that route or are willing to do that as long as they're tough to find. And I think by seeing that, I don't think it was a main driving force for them, but I think it allowed them to kind of say, okay, we can't really focus on the PS5 right now, simply because like we don't have as many out there as we would like to. It's hard to get those systems out the door, which is supposedly working on some kind of refresh to help with that. But also, you've got all these PlayStations out there, and you have a competitor in Xbox who isn't playing that cross or the generational game plan. They're just putting games wherever games can go. And I think that there's a lot of money in that. And I think Sony saw those dollar signs, and that's where you saw this 180 come from. Because yeah, they 110% were like, no, we believe in generations. This is the next generation. PS4, its support is dwindling. It's gonna die soon. Get a PS5 if you want to keep playing, because that's your only chance. And now, a game that could potentially release the holiday of next year is going to be cross-generational. I want to know what those PlayStation 4s sound like that play God of War Ragnarok. They scream, right? They just scream.
Yeah. It sounds like John's neighbor that's always driving past his window.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's actually what his car runs on, a PlayStation 4.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. I was in no means saying that like everyone has a PS5 or anything, or that they're easy to
there's
find.
Certainly a lot out there. Yeah,
it was just more of like, I just see a lot there's articles coming out about like Resident Evil 5 that like a good majority, Resident Evil 8, a good majority of sales were like on PS5s and things like that. So I think there's enough in circulation, enough people have some to maybe be like, okay, let's push it to the PS5, and then it's a system seller for holiday.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, is it gives them the option. It kind of takes the pressure off, right? If you don't have to rush these games out because now everybody's got a PlayStation 5, and you don't want to wait too long, because then people start getting rid of them. Not that I think that's going to be en masse with the PlayStation 5, but it allows them to make the decisions to delay things like Horizon or God of War, because maybe if they wait another 6 months, well, guess what? Now we've got an extra, 500,000 or 1 million, whatever, PlayStations out in the wild than we did before, which is more potential sales out the door.
100%.
And maybe it sells consoles that are out there when they've got that refresh coming down the pipeline. So, a lot of stuff could go into this. I just think that it was very interesting to see them 180 so hard, even though it's totally the smart decision, right?
Yeah.
So stupid to do anything otherwise.
Like a potential like 30 million sales of a game versus like 150 million sales of a game potentially.
No brainer, man. Yeah. No brainer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good discussion, but it is time to move on. Time to kind of start getting into predictions here. But really, I just want to know, like, what games are you hoping to see announced this year? Like, is there anything? This isn't quite our digging into our predictions yet, but is there something out there that maybe it's been rumored, maybe you just really want it, but like just something that PlayStation can announce sometime this summer where you're like, okay, if I didn't have a PlayStation 5, this is why I'm buying it?
Ape Escape 3, baby.
Yeah. There you go.
And Ape
Legend
Escape.
of Dragoon Remastered. Oh, John left.
Oh, we lost John.
He didn't
John's
want
dead.
Ape Escape 3.
We lost John. Oh no.
That's fine. I'll carry this. So, yeah, I mean, Ape Escape, that's a hot one. Jeez. I don't know that I could talk too much more on the ones that I think, because I think it would really cross the line into my prediction territory. So I'll save myself from this conversation.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. But I mean, Legend of Dragoon Remastered remake, dude, I would be so fucking hyped for that. You guys have no idea.
All right, then let's get into our prediction list. So as we've been doing the last few weeks, all of us have about 3 grounded predictions and 3 wish list crazy bonkers predictions. So let's start with the grounded stuff before we get too crazy here. Let's go with Connor first. Connor, give me a grounded prediction, something that could actually happen this year for PlayStation, this summer, I should say.
Sure. So before I say anything, I'll just preface it with the understanding that Sony at this time has no specific dedicated press conference or anything around E3 or any other Summer Game Fest, anything like that. This is just kind of general predictions over the next couple of months, like John said at the top of the hour, with, you know, whatever we think is going to happen, what this year looks like for PlayStation. So that being said, I think one of the biggest themes for PlayStation, should we hear from them in the near future, is going to be some really big focus on Gran Turismo. And I'm going to hate every fucking second of it. I can tell you
I'll
right
turn
now.
it off. I'll look away.
You know, like Gran Turismo?
Listen,
so
I don't hate Gran Turismo, but Forza Horizon does, and my heart's on that side of the railroad track. So, yeah, I'm just not terribly interested. It needs to happen. I think it's important. I think it's going to be a great thing. It's not really for me, as I'm not a big car guy, and if I want to play those, I'm going to play the Forza stuff on the Xbox side anyway. But I expect that to be one of PlayStation's big driving points over the next little bit, is going to be conversations about what ridiculous, nonsensical tech they have driving the Gran Turismo series into the future with PlayStation 5 and its SSD technology. It's going to be a lot of catchphrases and buzzwords, and I don't know that I'm ready for it. So
yeah, I think you definitely get like a bundle with Gran Turismo or something.
I can see it.
On the PS5.
I can see it.
Absolutely. All right, Brent, you got anything?
This is boring, but I think this summer or somewhere towards the end of the year, we get a big like update for the PlayStation 5. Like, we've gotten some already that have addressed like some of the issues, but I'm hoping we get one big one coming out that fixes, like, not fixes, just kind of works on the chat system a little bit, which I'm iffy about just because of the Discord integration. What's that gonna look like? But I'm hoping we get something that kind of like maybe fixes the trophy menu or makes the PS5 dashboard and UI just kind of less isolated. Feels like everything's so isolated from each other. So I think it's a boring thing. It's not a game or anything, but I do really think towards the end of the year we get some big update that fixes like a lot of issues people are having with it, because the UI is not bad, but it's a little troubled in my opinion.
Oh, so you say boring. I think that's funny because I think that you're probably spot on. I totally hope something like that happens. And it better happen, because the PS4 UI, in my opinion, was fantastic. And then you get the PS5 UI out of the box, and I fucking hate it. I'm really angry about a lot of stuff today, apparently, but I cannot stand the PlayStation. Why can't I hold the freaking power button or the PlayStation button down to turn that thing off, man? Why do I got to do 10 different things to turn off my freaking PlayStation?
That's
I mean, you just
what
press,
I was gonna say.
you go over and you press the button.
It's too many buttons. No,
Alright,
listen, I want to hold it.
Okay, all right, Connor, enough. Joel, what were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say that the pressing the button thing, I want to be able to hold it down. I want to be able to turn it off when I accidentally already turned my TV off, and I have to turn my fucking TV back on and figure out the whole menu.
Just go up to the console.
Preach.
No,
What is this 2002, Brent?
Do you not go to
you.
bed? Do you not like go get a
PS5?
snack or something?
What are you?
It's a PS5, not a PSP.
You still using a wired controller over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez.
You gotta charge it somehow.
All right. Moving on to me, I think we will finally see some meaningful improvements to maybe not PlayStation Now, but a service like it to bring it more in line with Game Pass. We talk about Game Pass all the time, how it's the best deal in gaming, and it absolutely is. I think this summer is where we finally see PlayStation at least try and take some steps to close that gap a little bit, because it's massive at the moment. So hopefully they do. PlayStation Now definitely has some issues, but if they just put the time into it, they could fix it and at least make it a little better. But
they just added a bunch more titles to it, didn't they?
I'm not even really talking about titles. I'm just talking about the usefulness of it.
No, yeah. I was just going to say, I think you're 100% right. I think they're already doing that, and they're definitely going to do it, for sure.
Yeah.
I promise not to I promise not to disagree with a lot of things, but I don't see them doing anything with PlayStation Now. I think they're adding titles and they're doing stuff, but I don't see them trying to compete with Game Pass, to be honest.
Yeah, if it's not PlayStation Now, I think they're bringing in a different kind of service to compete with it. They might just call it quits on PlayStation Now. Be like, hey, here's this new thing. Forget PlayStation Now ever existed.
Isn't that kind of what the PlayStation Plus collection is already?
That was just kind of like, you just got your PS5. Here's some PS4 classics to play. I don't think it was never really touted as like a continuous service. They added a few right before launch, but it was never really touted as a service. It was just, hey, here's some games.
Yep. All right, Joel, hit me with your first prediction.
My first one is that the PSVR 2 is shown in some way, whether it's the headset or they just dive deep into the new controllers. But yeah, I think they show something about it.
They got to show the headset, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Like we've seen the controllers, and yeah, they look very Oculus-y. But at this point, we have to see the headset. We know it's a single cord. But
I just want them to give me something to get excited about, because like I've been using my PSVR every day lately to work out during my lunch break, and I literally last week threw the headset onto my couch because it had such bad tracking issues with my fucking Move controllers. I was so pissed off. I just ripped the headset off my head and threw it at the couch. It's so frustrating. So I just wish that they would show me what their, next PSVR is going to, like, even if it's just basic, like, it's going to be fully wireless or it's still going to be tethered. Just let me know so I can make, like, an informed decision on, whether I want to wait out for a PSVR 2 or buy, like, an Oculus Quest 2 or something.
I got you.
Yeah. They've been trickling so many details out that I do 100% think by the end of the year, we get pictures of the headset. They might not reveal everything like price and stuff, but I do think we get a lot of information about this thing. And I'm going to say it. Maybe it comes out summer 2022.
They did say 2022 though, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I'm very well known on the podcast for not being a big believer in VR. I really don't think it's
honestly.
Play Boneworks, dude. You'll be completely turned around.
Play what?
Boneworks and Half-Life Alyx, dude.
See, I don't want to pay.
That's the thing. It's like you're like, VR's not good.
I worked at
play the good game.
To let you know, I worked at a VR lounge before the pandemic, and I was.
Okay, I'll cut you some slack.
Messing with VR a lot there. It was Vive Pro, Oculus Rift, all that stuff. But one very big part of this is that I get so sick on it. I cannot play. I cannot play for more than 10 minutes before I get sick. And any VR.
I will say though, my buddy Will, friend of the show, Piano Man, he has a the Valve Index, and that thing is fucking insane. But also, he paid like $1,200 for it, so that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah. No, I'm not putting out all these hundreds of dollars just to play 2 games. They have to put out more than just Half-Life Alyx for me to care about this. Yeah, there's some other good games in there. You got your Beat Sabers, you got Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Like, yeah, that stuff looks awesome to me, and I want to give it a try. I don't want to get sick, and I'm not dishing out hundreds and hundreds of dollars for an accessory. That's just where I sit on it.
I think we're definitely heading to the place where games get bigger, like Boneworks and Alex, and like you're saying with the index. The index controllers are cool because they have like the hand. Well, I don't know where my camera is. They have like the hand tracking, which the PSVR 2 said it was gonna do. So I'm really excited for PSVR 2. Maybe that'll be my main headset when it comes out summer 2022.
All right, Connor, second prediction.
So I think it's going to be a phrase that we all get sick of hearing over the next couple of months, but I think we're going to see PlayStation talking about increased availability. I think that's my safe bet for the PlayStation 5. Whatever this hardware refresh ends up being, I don't expect it to be anything big in any meaningful way, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up. Is I've heard some people float the idea of something like a PlayStation 5 Slim. I don't think this is that at all. I think we're far too early in the life cycle for anything like that to happen. Most likely, it's some kind of new partnership with chip manufacturers, or something very mundane that most people aren't going to notice the difference on. So, with that, I would be willing to wager, as the world starts to inch towards normalcy, I think Sony really starts talking about PS5 availability in a way that hopefully is comforting, and so scalpers can stop scalping
keep
them.
Those scalpers stock.
I would say almost the opposite. I would say that they either don't bring up stock, or they very minimally mention at the beginning,
really?
like we are still working on getting PlayStation 5s out there. In the wild.
I'm with Joel on this.
I think that's all. I think they leave it at that.
I don't listen. No. I want to say I don't think that it's fixed anytime soon. I just think you hear them really talk about that availability most of the time that we see them throughout the next couple of months, whether it be we're working on it, or production's increased, or we're happy to report blank numbers. It's just going to be conversations about how you can hopefully get your hands on a PlayStation 5 if that's what you're looking to do and haven't been able to.
I think it's just.
I kind of agree. Sorry, I agree with Joel a little bit. Like, think about pre-orders, how that was, and Jeff Keighley had to tell you that they were going up the next day. I don't think Sony discusses it. Maybe they announce on their Twitter that they are doing this thing that's been rumored of just changing the nanometer and then shipping out a new revision of it. I think that's like the most we get of them talking.
Oh, for sure.
Or even just mention, like, they haven't seemed to mention availability or anything at all. I don't think they care. I think they're getting their money, and they're not going to be like, oh yeah, well, we're going to acknowledge something on our end that's wrong. Like, I don't really think it's going to happen. I'm just picturing like the headlines online on Twitter, like, oh, guess what? Sony promised you can get a PS5 still eventually.
Yeah. No, I don't think it goes that far. I don't think it goes that far at all. I just think that it's going to be one of those taglines that we have at the end of everything they do, just to let people know they're aware of the interest in their console.
All right, Brent, prediction number 2.
I'm gonna go a little crazy, and I know this is grounded, but I'm thinking about it. What if we get a state of play towards the end of the year, and we're chilling, we got a few games, and then at the end of it, you hear the beep 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 Snake, and it's the Blue Point remake of Metal Gear Solid. It just gets announced. They tease it. Give us a little tease of that thing.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't think
any of us affinity.
I don't think any of us are
for Metal
Gear.
Metal
Gear.
I think so. I still subscribe to that theory.
I think Konami's gonna Konami, and I don't think
if Sony's got the bag, man, just give Konami the bag, and they're like, turn the other way.
They'll just make another pachinko machine. We talked about this last week.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool for Metal Gear fans. I don't think any of the three of us are really Metal Gear fans. I've only played the one that's only like a half hour long or something like that.
Oh, Ground Zero.
Ground Zero.
Yeah, that's the only one I've ever played.
I haven't played Metal Gear, but I want this remake so I can play them. I'm just confused
that'd be cool.
on like where to play it, because you get the Metal Gear collection. It's like 2 and 3, and it's where's 1?
Oh man, I looked into that some years ago. It's gibberish and incoherent.
I don't understand.
You have to play it on PS3, I think. There's a PS3 like Metal Gear collection. I own it because I wanted to play through them all, and I played through the first one and was like, I'm good. This game is old as fuck.
Gotcha. All right. My number 2 grounded prediction: Final Fantasy VII Part 2 will be revealed, but it's not coming out for at least 4 years.
Oh yeah.
We're not good. They'll like do a little cutscene thing that they do, but don't expect to see this anytime soon because they're gonna go hard on Intergrade. Is that what the expansion thing is called?
Yeah.
Comes out in a few weeks.
So yeah, Square's gonna like do a quick like just hey, remember this is coming in the future, but don't expect anything more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about all I got on that. Joel.
So that was one of mine.
All right.
So I'm just gonna say something else, and then just
Go for it.
add, I guess. I said they're gonna say something about Astrobot, whether it's them saying that there's gonna be a sequel. It could just be a splash screen of the title. Like I don't think they're gonna get too into it. I think they're just gonna announce the success of it.
My boy, he's so sexy.
And maybe just announce that there's going to be another game in 2022 sometime at some point.
Yeah.
All right, calm down.
Hey, did Astrobot say you could touch him like that?
Yeah, John, put your pants back on.
Please.
Oh shit.
But yeah, Astrobot, they're gonna talk about it in some way, about the sequel.
God, that would be so rad. I would love for them to really just go all out on an Astrobot sequel. Especially with the dual shock tech or dual
if I
sense
did
tech.
not mention it earlier, Team Asobi did become a part of PlayStation's internal development teams today. So, or at least they announced it today. So,
what did it cost Japan's studio?
They said a while ago that they were just gonna move that around Asobi anyway.
Yeah, I'm just upset about Japan's studio, man.
It's so weird how they're handling that. It's I don't understand, like, their home country and everything, but they're just like totally
it's like I'm American, so it's cool for me, I guess, but it just still feels icky. It's like I know you're a Japanese company, like it's weird.
I think it really just goes into that. It goes even more into that port that Sony only wants masterpieces. They only want to put out The Last of Us and the Uncharted. That's all they want at the moment. So
no way, it's 3, I guess.
It's unfortunate. It really is. All right, Connor. Last grounded prediction.
Last grounded. So I am willing to bet over the next couple of months we see Sony talk some more about some additional PlayStation to PC ports. I think it's been incredibly successful for them so far, and I think it's an incredibly smart business decision. Especially if you want to put the previous game on and then tease a large sequel that's going to be console exclusive for however long or whatever. It's
Uncharted 4 is the next one.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 I saw a whole list from a leaker that apparently leaked the Horizon Zero Dawn one. I don't know the validity of it, but it had the Uncharted collection in there too, along with
that would make sense.
Right. Ghost of Tsushima, I think, is one of the most likely candidates. It's probably my most wanted, though I could really see that one going either way. Without it having any kind of sequel that's confirmed in the pipeline, I don't know that there's any rush to do it.
That one was pretty popular. I would think that they would.
I feel like it would sell gangbusters.
Did they not confirm the sequel?
I don't think they've said anything official in any way, shape, or form. Yeah,
I'll check.
So
it may have been like they were hiring for like historians or something like that, and that's kind of where it came from.
Yeah, I don't know that they've said anything official one way or the other. I would imagine there's something, right?
Real quick, they have confirmed the existence of Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so.
Rad then. Honestly, that's just another point as to why you would put that on a PC. It's gorgeous. It's one of the most beautiful games I've played in recent memory, and it just makes sense to port on PC.
Second best game of all time.
Well, that's strong praise. I don't know if I'd praise it that hard.
Dude, I adored that game. That game was fantastic.
Very good. I still want to try it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Brent, last grounded prediction.
All right, again, you're chilling. You're watching State of Play, and you're chilling, And all of a sudden, oh, that's not what happened.
We lost John again.
John dies. Yeah.
John turns off state of play. He doesn't hear this announcement.
Yeah.
All right,
But you're
back.
chilling. And then it goes to the next slide. It goes dark in here. Flip, 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 flip. And you're like, Spider-Man 2. And it's like, no, Spider-Man and Marvel's Avengers.
No.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
no.
Let's
That's
go.
totally going to happen, isn't it?
Let's go.
Yup.
No. Give me Peter
I love that
Parker,
game.
Miles Morales. We talked about, you and I were both on the Respawn Fire thing when we talked about.
Why does it keep dropping out? What's
Get dead.
going on over
Get
there?
dead. Yeah.
I don't know
What
what
is
he's
going
having
on over
though.
there, John.
What did
Worst
we talk
internet
about?
of all
Or-
time.
Yeah. Well, continue with your statement, John.
I want a Peter Parker and Miles Morales focused Spider-Man 2. I don't want to bring
Yeah.
in the distractions with the Avengers yet. That can be in the future. Like that
No,
sounds.
I'm saying Spider-Man DLC
No, he's
for
saying
Marvel's
the
Avengers.
DLC for Marvel's
Oh,
Avengers.
deal. Okay, I thought
is
you were
what we're
talking
gonna
about
get.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
2 game. Okay,
No, we're
Okay,
talking
that's
about
fine.
things grounded in reality.
Yeah. that's fine.
That's
we're
that's
not,
gonna
we're not,
happen
we're not
for a
fucking
while. So.
insane, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Spider-Man DLC comes out late this year, I think is my prediction.
It is weird that they haven't announced that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love that game. I follow a lot of the leaks, and development on that's been really weird. Cause like, dude, the other character's supposed to come out before 2020, 21 even existed. So, I
Did
think we
they-
get Spider-Man by December, maybe.
Did they add Black Panther yet?
No,
No,
they
that's
announced
the
it.
summer.
Oh, I think
Like-
they did officially finally reveal him though.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Black
revealed
Panther-
him. He's coming. They just haven't added him.
Yeah.
Black Panther
yeah.
and Wakanda is the summer, August, I think.
Mhm.
Cool.
All right.
Past then,
Finishing.
we don't know what else is happening to the game.
All right. Finishing off my grounded predictions here, I think Ratchet and Clank will be the only true next gen experience this year. Including Xbox, it will be the only game that I play on a PlayStation 5 where I'm like, yeah, this is next gen. Like it's a game that I can't play it on my PlayStation 4 and be like, oh yeah, this is fine. Like, no, I think Ratchet and Clank will be the highest bar for.
So do you not
Next
think
gen.
we
I
get?
agree.
Do you not think we get a polished like patch of Horizon and that does it for you, or?
But a patch, see, that's the big thing. Patches are never going to be to the extent of a ground up developed item for next gen. Because like you said before, with solid state drive usage and like even the Spider-Man stuff was really cool where they brought it from PS4 and remastered it. All that fantastic load time shenanigans. That said, there's so much more you can do when specifically catering to that hardware and that hardware only, because you don't have to start at a minimum base point so far below what your specs you're trying to hit are. So, yeah, I think, John, you're 110% on top of it here. Ratchet and Clank is honestly probably going to be the only next-gen experience we have in truth for the next year and a half, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, Joel, you said you had you
I
already
got
did your
one.
last one.
No, I got.
You
I
have
got one.
another?
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. So this next one, this is kind of a stretch, but I think they're going to talk about expandable solid state drive storage because I think that's one of the huge things PlayStation's
please.
missing out on.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to announce some sort of partnership with like Western Digital or Seagate something, and just announce a solid state drive that is compatible with the PS5. And they're like, I don't even know why there's none that are compatible technically. But
Did they
Because,
put
like-
out a list recently of ones that are? I feel like
No,
I
that's
remember
what-
seeing something.
That's what we've been waiting on. They've
Yeah.
Mark Cerny has said like the PS5 SSD is so fast and so built so differently, built differently
It's
that
built different.
that
Look
it's
at you,
hard to
PS5, you
find. That's hard to find like a consumer SSD that really fits all the specs. So
but at
the way I
same,
interpret it is that they're honestly just waiting for good ones to be made.
but that's
so
the thing.
that they
Is,
can-
the thing I never understood is why would you design something that nothing is compatible with yet? You know what I mean? Like how the fuck does that make any sense? So who
Who
knows?
do you think you are, Sony? Apple?
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Sony's just fucking gonna make this thing themselves. Who the fuck knows? But
I'd be
either
fine
way,
with that.
either way, I think they announced something. I would not be fine with that because then we're back to like the Vita memory card days.
$500 storage,
yeah,
baby.
When you're paying up the wazoo just for like a gig.
Dude, I just got a Vita again.
I know. I've been
the memory cards.
I followed your chronicle over Twitter when you were waiting for it for like 2 weeks.
Dude, it took so long, and then now I have it, and I literally have Ratchet and Clank collection only on a 4 gig memory card, and then 8 gig I have God of War and a couple other games.
But yeah, so I think that we hear of, you know, some expandable SSD. And the other weird thing is if you install like an M.2 drive into that, it's just pointless right now because they
doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because they haven't.
Yeah, it just begs you to take it out.
Yeah, they haven't pushed any updated firmware to the console that enables it. So,
quick footnote on what I was saying earlier. It looks like the update that I misread was they pushed an update recently. It looks like in April that allowed external USB drives for storage, but no gameplay or anything like that.
You can't actually use them. You can just store them on there for later. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think it's time to get crazy.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm crazy right now.
All right. I'm going to start off mine because I think it was Joel kind of went into this earlier, but it includes that boy right there. I want a new fully 3D platforming Astrobot game, fully developed. Like I'm talking big time 3D platforming adventure,
like
not a tech demo.
Like your red and blue 3D goggles on.
Yeah, get them. I just want an Astrobot game. Astro's Playroom is still my favorite PlayStation 5 game. Nothing has come close to it. I've enjoyed Spider-Man Miles Morales. I really enjoyed Oddworld Soulstorm. Astrobot is still top tier for me on the PlayStation 5.
Destruction All Stars 2, let's go.
Oh boy, get out of here.
It's getting bots. It's getting bots.
Such a bad game.
Well,
man.
I saw
hate that they added bots to Fortnite.
I saw that tweet that's like Sony has developed, you know, like AI that will play based off players, and then I saw somebody quote tweeting like, "Oh, they finally discovered Drivatars."
yeah. Sony reinvents Drivatars. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I fully believe that Astrobot is the PlayStation's best mascot. Get Sackboy out of here. Like he's cool and everything. He can watch, but I think Astrobot needs to take over as like the face of Sony going forward. Because I really think with the quality of games that you've got with is it Rescue Mission, the VR game?
Yeah.
Rescue Mission and then Playroom. You can just build on that and just really create something special.
Give me a
He's
TV
so
show,
fucking
man.
cool too.
I'll eat that shit up. Give me an Astrobot TV show.
Yes.
Dude, yeah. Exactly. All right. Let's go with Joel. Give me a crazy prediction.
Twisted Metal's coming back one way or another.
Damn it, you motherfucker. That was my other one.
Whether it's a remaster, remake, you know, a collection of the old games, like, you know, in 4K, or a brand new game, I think it's coming back. It's time. We've been talking about this on the podcast for a few months.
Yeah, we have. Well, I've been talking about it forever, it seems. But yes, I'm right there with you. I want a collection of the PlayStation 1 Twisted Metal games completely remade. Just put them all in there. You got Twisted Metal 1, 2, 3, Small Brawl. Was there a fourth one? I can't remember. Well,
Black.
I mean, Small Brawl.
You could get Black.
Black was PS2. I'm
PS2,
saying
whatever.
Strictly PlayStation 1 Twisted Metal. Bring it back because that game is one of a kind. That will completely blow Destruction All Stars out of the water. That is a quality vehicular combat game that is just, it's got the replayability. You can bring in so much online multiplayer functionality with that. It's got such potential, and Sony just haven't done anything with that series since PlayStation 3, which is a shame because that remains one of my favorite franchises from them.
Y'all are counting Destruction All Stars out, but when
it's bad.
Wait, no, when year 2 comes around, the game's gonna be lit. You guys are gonna be calling back to it.
I'm kicking you out of this Discord call right now.
Dude, Destruction All Stars is lit. It just needs weapons. That's like all it needs.
No, get it out of here. Bring back Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal has its weapons.
You can have both. What's the
hostility? I'm canceling Destruction All Stars. It's a bad game and it's boring and it sucks.
$20. It's getting bots.
I got it for free and I feel ripped off. So
man, this is harsh.
It's not a good game. I hate it. Check out our Let's Play on Destruction All Stars, by the way.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. Where I complain about it the entire time.
You don't need that negativity in your life.
All right, Connor, give me a crazy prediction.
So I'm just gonna speed round this one. Joel stole it earlier, but I actually had PSVR 2 reveal on my crazy because I don't know when this thing comes out. To be honest with you, I know that 2022 is the original date mentioned, but yeah, I think it's a 50-50 toss-up. We either see it in a reveal and it definitely releases next year, or we don't see it and it maybe releases next year. So, yeah, skip me.
See,
they shadow drop it.
In terms of that, I think that we definitely see something of it this year, but I think it's still up in the air whether or not it comes out next year because
right.
I don't know. Personally, I think it's a bad look to come out with new hardware when you're struggling to get old hardware out the door still.
It's different parts, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm aware, but I mean, Joe Schmo's not going to know that.
I mean, yeah, but they also just
Joe Schmo won't care because he just bought a PSVR 2.
True. They're also releasing 2 more DualSense controllers, so I don't think they care.
Yeah. No. All right, Brent, give me something crazy.
All right. We're going crazy. You're chilling at PSX. You're chilling. You're sitting there.
Wait, hold on. That's a crazy prediction right there. Wow. Yeah. Wow. All right, go on.
You see Kratos come out on screen. You're like, okay, God of War 2. And then Nathan Drake. And then Fat Princess Sackboy Astrobot. PlayStation All-Stars Round 2.
I'm here for it. Because that's one of the only games I bought physically on my Vita. Because that game is... it's so fun. But it's not Smash fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm playing this game that has all these PlayStation guys. But I wish they were all in Smash, but they're not.
I think give it a round 2, tweak it a little bit. You can have a perfect game here.
Add Astrobot
PlayStation has
to
the
it?
roster. Exactly.
Yeah,
dude,
John, you know if they added Astrobot to PlayStation All-Stars 2, you'd buy it.
No.
You'd buy the Astrobot Steelbook edition.
The Astrobot Steelbook.
I didn't buy a PSVR just for rescue mission, so no, I wouldn't.
You should because that game.
They would have to make that. They would have to make the fight.
Are you saying here, live on the internet, that you hate Destruction All Stars, PlayStation All Stars as much as you hate PlayStation VR? Is that what you're trying to say here? Yes, that you hate them equally. They're just as bad.
It's different.
VR is terrible, and so does.
Well, yeah, VR. You know, VR is a bit of a fad, and it's gonna go away.
You're right.
It's been not that great for 10 years.
Yeah, it's still bad.
Fad was a bad word, but it's I don't think it's as useful in gaming as it is in other areas. I think PlayStation All-Star. We're talking about PlayStation All-Stars against Smash here. Like, I'm always going to go to Smash.
Why not both?
Whatever, you can have it. I'm not going to play it.
I literally pop in Mortal Kombat 9 still just to play as Kratos. Like, I will play PlayStation All-Stars to like.
But you're not going to have that in PlayStation All-Stars. You're going to have very different gameplay.
But it's still Kratos at the end of the day.
You know, PlayStation All-Stars is pretty much that Shrek brawling game that they came out. I think it was.
Was it a battle royale?
Yeah, something like that.
Shrek battle
it's
royale.
Exactly the same gameplay. You ever notice that?
Thanks for making me think about that again.
Wait,
it's just in a
Shrek
2D.
Super Slam?
That
yeah.
He
Shrek
loves
Super
it.
Slam was dude, that game was lit.
Next
That's
prediction.
on the GameCube? Shrek Super Slam remake.
All right, I already went on about my Twisted Metal thing, so Joel, go with your second.
Let's see. All right, this is a wild one, because I don't think it would ever happen. But I
Give
think
it to me, baby.
I think we see an Uncharted movie trailer premiere, which would be fucking ridiculous because I don't think they've.
Isn't it supposed to come out this year?
I don't know.
How many times have they said that, John?
Yeah,
How many times?
That's what.
How many times?
I thought they have a release date for it now.
I mean,
Nope, 2022.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't the Fast 9 trailer come out like a year and a half ago, and that movie still isn't out?
I mean, pandemic. So
Yeah, that was the first movie to really get delayed, and they pushed it back a year.
Yeah.
Like Fast 9.
But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Or we don't see it, and then everybody just assumes it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I'm not sold that it'll be bad, but
yeah,
I am.
I mean,
I think it has potential. Like it's been in development hell, but I still think you can pull it around. It's not gonna be a masterpiece. I think it'll be fun. That's all Uncharted needs to be.
That's all you need out of a video game movie. It's just fun.
I mean,
just don't make it like
also,
Assassin's Creed, please.
I feel like anything with Tom Holland is automatically fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's Chaos Walking.
All right, Connor.
So my second crazy prediction is Sony gives in and gives the people what they want, and they put Bloodborne on PC so the idiots on Twitter can shut up about it. That would be real cool, because literally every other tweet that I see every other day is somebody asking about when Bloodborne's coming to PC. I've never played it. I don't care about it, but I would like to stop hearing about it. So
yeah, I'm on the same
I just hear about a 60 FPS patch more than like a PC port.
I hear both.
Well, 2 in 1.
And like I don't care about those types of games like at all. Like I tried Dark Souls 3 or 2 I think one time and I just wasn't a fan. Like 30 minutes in I quit. But with how much Bloodborne is talked about, I feel like I want to give it an honest try. But at this point, like I don't want to play like the PS4 version of the game with all this like, people asking for either a PC port or, an up-res version of the game on PS5.
They got to do something with that eventually, right? Like the Soulsborne stuff is massive nowadays, especially with Elden Ring, presumably going to be another one of those. Yeah, it would make total sense for them to bring it back. It's odd that they haven't done anything, even a 60 FPS patch or,
It's they're gonna remaster it. That's
what I'm
prediction.
thinking. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a remaster.
They're gonna remaster it for PS5 only. Same with
it's gonna be $90, not $70, $90.
If they can,
I'd pay for it.
If they can do The Last of Us twice, they can do Bloodborne once.
Right.
All right, Brent. Last crazy prediction.
All right, I'm gonna tell you what y'all need. All right, last prediction of the day. This is the most important thing. This is what we need to end the year with. Knack 3, baby.
Oh man.
Might as well keep the meme going.
No, for real though. I think we hear about Spider-Man 2. Maybe not get it for a year or two, but I think we hear about it because the Miles Morales team was like Brian Horton's team, and Brian Inthahar's team's still been working since 2018 on Spider-Man 2. So I think we hear about it. And then maybe get it in 2022. I honestly think because that's 4 years.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
They're two different teams.
I'm right there with you that we see it this year. I wouldn't go so far to say that we see it that it comes out next year. But it could happen. It really just depends on how far along that game is and how much more they want to put into it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would be an awesome reveal, just an awesome tease. Like Sony's really good about just teasing the giant games on the way, and then they let it go quiet for a while, and as you get closer to release, they ramp up everything that they show on it.
That's one of the things I appreciate about Sony, because like for God of War, it was essentially just a splash screen saying the game, right? That's all it was really. And
the God of War 4?
What?
Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about Ragnarok?
No, Ragnarok.
Okay, yeah, because Ragnarok we haven't seen anything on except for.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And like where you have Xbox who like they show a whole like cinematic trailer from Scalebound and then cancel the game a year and a half later.
Right.
Like, that's why I appreciate what Sony does. So I think that the Spider-Man announcement is literally just that, like a splash screen with like the title or logo or something saying that Spider-Man's coming back.
Yeah, I think what it is you get a couple of like B-roll shots of like Peter swinging a little bit, like stylish, like maybe black background, and you just see Peter, and then Miles comes in and they're swinging, and maybe Spider-Gwen shows up. Three-way co-op, baby. I'm kidding about that. I'm kidding about that, but I think like having and then Miles showing up, showing that it's gonna be like both Spider-Man in the game, and then you get the title, maybe Spider-Man. That could be cool.
All right, Brent, I got a question for you. The reveal trailer that we get of Spider-Man 2, whenever that is, whenever it happens, whether it's this year or next year, do we see Venom in that trailer?
I think maybe if he's assuming he's the villain, I think you get. Yeah, true. I think you get what I just said.
Spoilers.
And then the end, maybe you get his eyes, and then like you see the tongue come out, and this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just example, you see the tongue coming out, 2022.
In his eyes his eyes are zeros.
I am so excited to see Venom in this next Spider-Man game. I really am.
I need it, dude.
There's only 1 0 in 2022.
Yeah, I know. Stop talking.
So
next prediction. Next prediction.
No, he
John.
tilts one of his eyes to make it the 1.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Duh.
The 1.
Duh.
What? Where does it's
20?
There's 2's and a 0.
2022.
Right.
I forgot.
John, please intelligently say something.
Okay. Yeah. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but I really don't think it'll happen. So this is why I put it on this list. But we finally see some new customization options, both inside and outside of the PlayStation 5. When I say inside, I do mean extra SSD storage space that is usable. I also mean like a complete overwipe of that UI on the main screen. I'm pretty sure we've talked before about how it's not bad, but it could be better. So bring in those folders and stuff that really was one of the reasons why the PlayStation 4 UI was just so great. On the outside, though, customizable plates. I mean, they've shut down companies left and right trying to make those plates for the PS5. I'm still just trying to think of design I'm going to Sharpie into mine because I still think this is one of the ugliest consoles I've ever seen.
Matt painted his black and it looked pretty sick.
It did look cool.
I'm gonna Sharpie something on the mine. I just don't know what yet. Maybe a Spider-Man. Oh, Venom would be cool.
Dude, that would be cool.
Yeah, I'll
get matching. I'll get Carnage. You get Venom.
Oh yeah, and then we'll get to go through the mall like holding our little PlayStation 5s. See, look at us, guys!
You guys get matching T-shirts, but with each other's console on it.
Yeah, dude, let's do it.
It's not
even like
cool, honestly.
It's not even like a drawing of it either. It's just like a vertical kind of picture of the PlayStation 5 slash.
It's one of those really crappy like iron-on T-shirt images.
It's already faded.
You can Yes.
You still see the background and the TV like in the background.
You watched it in warm water when you knew you weren't supposed to.
Starts cracking.
Yeah, as much as I don't like the look of the PlayStation 5, there's so much opportunity there for customization.
Yes.
And I think Sony is just shooting themselves in the foot by not taking advantage of that as soon as possible. But
yeah,
just me.
You definitely got me thinking a little bit because I was gonna say originally that we would get like, a different, maybe a Horizon bundle and it's got a new console, but then I was like, we got that revision coming out and that's not even coming out to 2022. But if they just, like you said, they just make plates, they could easily like probably manufacture those by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It don't even have to make a new make like a new chip or something.
Yeah, what's the point of having them removable if you can't customize them at all or buy new ones? Like,
I don't think they would take down PlayStation if they didn't plan on making their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are we at? Joel, do you still have one?
Yeah. So this one's like a huge stretch, and like I know that Sony, they were talking about shutting down the old stores with the PS3 and Vita or no PS. Was it the Vita? PSP.
PS3 and Vita, both of them.
But I think that they kind of pull a 180 here and allow some of those purchases to be played on your PS5. Because there were a lot of there were a lot of old like PS1 and like PS2 games you could purchase on those those stores and play on like your PS3 that had you couldn't do that on PS4, right? Like you couldn't play some of those games.
No.
So you can play PS1 and PS2 games on there. Do you want to know why that is?
Some.
Do you want to know why that is? Though?
It's not all. It's some.
It's not all. Yeah, it's some. But the PlayStation 3, the
cell,
the code, that cell stuff, like it's just not it's not compatible with the PS4 or the PS5. It's just that's just how bad the beginning of that generation was with Sony. Is just they made something completely different that was hard to develop for, and it's hard to translate it to other areas now. So yeah, I would say that's a stretch.
Yeah, but
it would be cool.
It'd be fucking
PS3 is
awesome.
never happening, but I think I agree with Joel. Like they could bring some of the Vita game, like some of the games they have on the Vita store, and bring them to the PS5 because the Vita has so many things. Like they have so many just collections of like Sly Cooper, Jak and Daxter, God of War, Ratchet and Clank. Like you're not gonna make new entries in a lot of these series. Like port those collections over, port the Siphon Filters and the Dino Crisis and like the old Resident Evil. Well, most Resident Evils are on there, but you know what I mean. Just port like a lot of those like PS1 classics and Vita games over to the PS5. Like you've kind of done it in remastering Gravity Rush, so I just think it's a good way because eventually they're gonna shut that store down again. It's just gonna happen. So it's a good way of saying like, all right, we heard you. We're gonna keep this open until we can put all this stuff on the PS5. So I think that in the next couple of years we could see that, but at the same time, you gotta think Sony doesn't care about a lot of stuff like that, or Jim Ryan doesn't care about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Joel, what are we looking at for time?
We're at like an hour and 15 minutes, so
I think we went long again. Okay, Connor, really quick, if you have one more.
Yeah, super fast. So we finally find out why Sean Layden left PlayStation. I just want to know. It's been like 2 years, damn it, and I still know.
Sean, are you okay?
Seriously, like blink once for yes, blink twice for no.
Wait for his autobiography in a few years.
Honestly, man, I need to know. But no, my actual one that's slightly grounded in reality is PlayStation finally caves from all of the insane pressure of the industry, and they allow crossplay without being super weird about
without charging
thing.
For it.
Yes, without being Sony about the entire situation. I would love to see them embrace it in any meaningful way, shape, or form, along with cross save. I know some of that stuff gets tricky when you start talking about microtransaction purchases carrying over between accounts and stuff like that. But
progression in everything,
right? I think there's so much more to that conversation that can happen aside from just monetization. And I hate how holdout Sony is being on this still to this day. I mean, we just saw. Did you guys see the Borderlands story? Randy Pitchford came out and absurd, right? Like we're in 2021, crazy. Almost everybody else is on board with this, just not Sony's. Maybe that's why Sean Layden left. Maybe Sean Layden said crossplay ? And they killed him.
He said no.
Yeah.
No. I don't think
so. You're right. That is an off the wall prediction.
That is, especially because of how recently that Borderlands thing came out. That was like last week.
I know.
So I don't think that happens anytime soon.
It took them a good 8 months to come around on crossplay in Fortnite, right?
Yeah,
so,
right.
Definitely sucks how much my favorite company is just kind of being we don't care.
Hey, I've got it with Nintendo. Don't worry.
You can rag on Fortnite.
Yeah, I've had to swallow that pill.
You can rag on Fortnite all you want, but they are like the main reason crossplay is a thing.
I wasn't ragging on Fortnite. I was ragging on Sony.
No, I know you are, but I'm saying like in general. Like so many people look down on Fortnite as like this abomination of a game, but they really
Fortnite's awesome.
They paved the way.
It's popular.
Yeah, they paved the way for fucking games we play now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Brent, do you have one more? Did I go to you for a third?
Yeah, I got all three.
Okay.
Number 4, Knack 3.
All right, Knack 3.
4.
You heard it here first.
Knack 4 is announced.
Knack 3 and 4. Let's go.
No, you just skip 3. You go straight to 4.
Yes.
It's so ahead of its time. Okay, guys.
I want them to do that.
All right. Thanks so much for watching or listening to the podcast, guys. That is episode 146 of the Pixel Street podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street and subscribe to us on YouTube by searching Pixel Street videos to find exclusive content from us you will not find anywhere else there. I am currently working on a review for an item that I will hopefully have up within the next few days. But Joel and Will have been working on their Countdown to Infinite series. Yeah. I joined them and we played through the entirety of Halo Reach in one sitting.
So for reference, me and Will, we finished Halo Wars Sunday morning in like 2.5 hours, and we took like a few hour break, and then we played through all of Reach in one day on Legendary. It took us it was like 6 hours total for the whole
just
game.
About that with breaks and stuff. Yeah, I don't remember that game being that short, but we ran through it.
Yeah.
You can also join our Discord community by following the link in the description of this show and become a part of a growing community of nerds. And finally, wherever you are watching or listening to the show, please give us a truthful rating. Whether it's a thumbs up, thumbs down, star rating, whatever it is. Let us know what you think. Let us know so we can get better for the future. Whatever it is, we want to get better, and that's just how that thing kind of works. Let us know what you think. All right, time to sign off here, though. Brent, thank you so much for joining. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, no worries. I mean, no problem. Yeah, Free to Play Podcast, the Uncultured Opinions Podcast, Twitter, my handle's right there. And then, I guess my Twitter is a melting pot for anything I do. Drop music, it'll be there. So just check out my Twitter, I guess.
All right, awesome. Connor.
On Twitter and Twitch, I'm at The Real Birch. Birch like the tree without the I, BRCH. Come follow me. Love to have you.
Joel?
Twitter and Twitch at Campos63. I don't know why Connor pumps his Twitch because he never uses it.
He never streams it. And he never puts up videos.
So it's funny that you say that. I literally just redid all my assets for my Twitch channel just recently. So maybe there's something in the works. You never know. Oh. You wouldn't know if you don't follow. So, you're lost.
It's funny because if they were following, they wouldn't know either because you don't do it.
It's the risk. You have to take, you follow not knowing if I ever am actually going to do something about it. But it's kind of tantalizing to wonder and think about it. Like, I'm going to drip feed you thoughts about potentially doing the thing that you want me to do, but I might not actually do it. Okay. So.
All right. Finally, I am John Hansen. You can find me on Twitter at RevXShadows. Also, look up my writing on GamePer.com. It's really starting to heat up towards E3 here, so I'm going to be quite busy for the next couple weeks, but very excited. That does it for us. Thanks so much for watching or listening. We will catch you same time and place next week. Bye!
Bye.
Peace out.